Hey, good to have you back. Okay, what we're looking at is a classic blues, jazz blues standard, 12-bar blues standard, written by Kaufman, Canadian flautist, way back in the '60s, but it's still played quite regularly by thousands of different players. As I said, it is a standard called Swingin Shepherd Blues. And the first thing we're going to take a look at is the chords. The chord progression that is suggested here. The melody, just to give you context of the melody. Okay, that's the melody. Now, what we're going to do is, with this session, is take a look at some of these chords here. So the first chord is B flat six. You'll notice it's a little bit different than if we were doing like a bar blues, where you would I just refer to it as a bar blues. I don't know, like a different blues style where it starts right off with a B flat seven. All right. Always with that tritone sound, right? But this in this style, we start off with a six. The six chord does not have a tritone in it, and the tritone is the harmonic core of a seventh type chord. All right. So B flat six is a little bit more innocuous in terms of its harmonic quality, and it's nice to just sort of vamp on. So the B flat six, we can just do it as a three note voicing, and or you could add the fifth if you want. All right, but let's stick to the three notes. So we have the one, the six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the three, 1, 2, 3. Right. Nice simple voicing. And if you want to add a little bit more movement, you can go up to its related two. Okay, I get the idea. And then B flat seven, all we do is flip our two fingers around here, and now we the one and the two, and now we have the flat seven instead of the six, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat seven, Mixolydian mode, and then we have the three on top. Here's our tritone. All right, B flat seven, moving to, and you'll notice what happens with the tritone, right? Moving to the E flat seven in that tritone, look what it does. That same tritone inverts itself, and then back to the B flat seven. Okay, so far we made it through 7 measures, I guess, or 6 measures or something. And now we're going to go to this little bit of movement we have here: B flat seven, C minor, C sharp diminished seventh, and the B flat with the over D. So the movement, the bass movement we have here is. So that sounds like this: B flat 7, and then C minor, and then diminish, and then to the nice movement. That's nice movement. All right, and it's we would call that C sharp diminished seventh, just a passing diminished. We're going from the one chord to the two chord to the passing diminished to back to the one chord, except as with a D in the bass, which gives us that movement, and then a G7 with an augmented with a raised 9, which is a secondary dominant, or the dominant of C minor. C minor is the 2 of B flat leading to the 5 of B flat, F7 chord, and then to the B flat 7, to the 4, and then it's got this funny little suggestion here, moving up to the G flat. We're not going to put an E below it because it's weird. Just weird. G flat 7. Essentially, it's just a chromatic movement to the F7 chord, right? Okay, so we have the C minor and F7. And then we're back. And so on. And I eliminated that last B flat 7 because that's a really, not like, it's just a silly chord. Because the B flat 7, here, this is a very good example right here. As you can see, B flat 6, and then we go to a B flat 7, and the reason we went to a B flat 7 is because it led to an E flat 7. Okay, that's pretty good, right? That's intelligent. That makes good harmonic sense, right? Here we have a B flat 7 chord that leads nowhere, right? I mean, it's just going to go back to a B flat 6. Stupid movement. Instead, we just keep the F7 chord, which will lead back to the B flat 6. So nix the B flat 7 chord. Okay, cool. Now I think that will give you enough to get going and make some of these chord connections. And you notice that I've been talking about, I mentioned some language like secondary dominance. A secondary dominant is I think I shot a video on secondary dominance. You can maybe look that up, but I'll explain it here now. A secondary dominant is, let's start with the primary dominant. The primary dominant in the key of B flat is the F7. That F7 comes from the notes of a B flat major scale. So we call it the primary dominant. A secondary dominant means like this chord here, that does not come from the notes of the B flat major scale. It comes from the notes of an E flat major scale. And so that's where this is leading. This wants to go to its home of E flat. So in the key of B flat, the B flat 7 is a secondary dominant because it's leading to a chord other than the one chord. Okay, that's pretty simple. Same thing with the G7 here. The G7 is a secondary dominant that wants to lead to the in this case the 2 chord, right? So this is the 5 chord in the key of C minor. So that's pretty clear, I think. And then the primary dominant, 1 chord, primary dominant, 1 chord, and so on. Secondary dominance, it doesn't matter what chord you're playing, you should always know where the dominant of the chord you're playing. Don't ever think of just one chord at a time. Let's say I'm playing a C minor chord. So the question is do what do you see when you play, for instance, a C minor chord? You should see the scale underneath it, and then you should see it's related to, right, same scale, and then you should see it's related 5, and turning back to the 1. So you never just see one chord, right? If you see the 2 minor 7 flat 5 chord, then you should see it as, well, that's the 2 chord of C minor. And if you see a G7, you say, well, that's the 5 chord of C minor or C major, right? So you're always looking at chords in terms of their relationship to one another, and you're trying to find the broader context of those chords. And that's what we try to do when we do a simple analysis like this. We got to the fretboard as well, and we did some nice easy chord voicings that I hope you will enjoy doing and enjoy learning, and then comp your way through this tune. Even with a metronome, you don't need drum kits and loops and everything else. Just nice and clean, even just a click, 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 and just comp your way through this. Remember that a B flat 7 chord has a tritone in it, right? And the significance of the tritone is that it's the same tritone shape as you get with E flat. All I'm doing, talk about an easy change, eh? So knowing some of those spellings will greatly enhance your ability to understand where you're going and what you're doing, whether it be soloing or writing or whatever the case. Okay, so comping through Swingin Shepherd. And a basic, 12 bar blues using some nice movement and some classic chord sounds. If you like this video, click like, and if you want to come along for this guitar journey, please subscribe, and in the comments below, let us know what you want to hear, what you'd like to see us do, and make suggestions. Suggest away. We look forward to that. All right. Hope that was a help to you in some way, in any way, and we will see you soon.